The original Exorcist film was groundbreaking.
You're looking at a masterful piece of filmmaking from 50 years ago.
I don't think there's ever been a movie before that has created such intense frenzy. It was a phenomenon.
My journey began as a mother, driven by my love for my daughter.
I was a teenager. I saw it, scared the wits out of me.
He's waiting for you.
We wanted to honor the film with this continuation.
Whatever those girls went through brought something back with them. You think they got possessed by the devil?
I look at it as a franchise where you can explore, you can ask questions. If anything, I'm looking to break rules. I'm looking to put my fingerprints in this material, in this world.
The only thing that's ever mattered is protecting my kid. We're certainly doing everything we can from frame one, minute one, to make sure that it is steeped in veracity and nuance and humanity.
Body in the blood?
Catherine.
Body in the blood. The body in the blood.
You have some experience with possession.
Yes, more than I'd like. It's a terrifying thought. You can be taken over by a force that's inside.
Don't be scared.
We've met before.
Mother.
I think they will get their money's worth with this one.
I saw The Exorcist, Believer, and wow, what a wonderful roller coaster ride it is. It does everything that a horror movie should do.
Oh, thank you. That's great to hear.
Were you a fan of the original?
I love the original. It's one of those movies that I saw it at too young an age, but it had a very powerful effect on me. And if I've done my job right, it's paying respect to the work that William Friedkin and William Peter Blatty did with that original film, and then opening up for a new audience is just a privilege.
And doing a direct sequel. I mean, there have been other Exorcist movies, but this one really goes back to its roots. Was that a joy for you to help write?
Absolutely. To be able to, in some ways, pay homage to the original film, but then make it our own and put our signature in it, make it something that's personal and meaningful to me. We've had 50 years of exorcism movies in the wake of the original film, and a lot of derivative, rip-off, knock-off, and inspiration, and I wanted to be on the positive track of that, of taking what's so beautiful about that and bringing a new way to look at some of these conversations.
Why is it that you lean toward horror and that type of film? I mean, is it something from your childhood? Do you absolutely love this genre?
I'm very affected by horror movies. I'm very sensitive, and I'm the kid that couldn't make it through the sleepover party after watching Halloween for the first time. So it's always been something that's very appealing to me in that way, because it's a way that I can take a title like The Exorcist that everybody in the world that's ever been to a movie knows that title, right? Very meaningful title, and then I can make something really personal with it. I made a lot of independent-minded dramatic movies that some are more successful than others, but to be able to create my emotional and spiritual art project within the title of something that can be so epically presented and considered is a real honor for me.
And in taking on movies like The Exorcist, Halloween, is there a lot of weight on you as a director to, get it right?
I would say I'm very exercised in making a lot of different kinds of movies, from micro-budget dramas to comedies to television series that I've been really fortunate to be a part of, and so I go to work, I work as hard as I can, I do the best job I can, and I surround myself with a group of collaborators that I really trust. And so as long as I have that inner circle there, I feel protected, and I'm really just trying to create a creative engine that I can express myself and explore content that I think audiences will appreciate. And I think if you look at the fan base of something like this and you try to appeal to everybody and make everyone happy, you're going to fail. But if you have a point of view, you can stay specific to that vision, then I think you've got a real story to tell.
And in telling this story, I mean, you obviously tip your hat to the original. There's a lot of things in the background, that pops up if you're a real fan of the first movie. You've done such a great job in setting those cookies up.
Yeah, that was a fun part of the process, in a way that, Halloween, I think the franchise there is a lot of legacy characters and a lot of Easter eggs for the fan. This is a little bit more of an academic approach. The nods to the original film, I think, are more of what make it technically effective, as opposed to this would be cute and make the fans really excited. So I'm taking some of the wit out of those callbacks and putting a little bit more of just my appreciation of their technical, masterful design.
My daughter is not herself right now.
Dad?
It's happening to my daughter, too.
Mama? I don't feel very good.
Following in the footsteps of Linda Blair is an extraordinary quest. Violent tantrums.
Spewing of evil things.
I don't think there's anything more terrifying.
Good day. Hey, be home by dinner.
I love you. Good morning, Mr. Fielding.
Morning, Catherine.
Angela and Catherine are friends. Their families, in a sense, are opposites of each other.
Wherever those girls went, they brought something back with them.
Catherine.
Body in the blood. The body in the blood. We're so afraid that we wouldn't, get along. I introduced myself, I'm like, hi. Instantly we clicked. Oh, yeah.
You have to deal with a bunch of crazy people trying to make a movie.
You need just quick little peekaboos?
And go to school and sit in a makeup chair for 2.5 hours a day.
I remember seeing it and just thinking, wow, and that's kind of when it hit me. I was like, jaw dropped. One girl lives, one girl dies.
What's better than one possessed girl but two? I mean, it's insanity.
They made me believe it. They made me feel it.
I was completely taken in.
Filming the climax of this movie was like running a marathon. Don and Tony helped Stuart out from under Victor. The difference in experience and skill sets and age and energy, it was tricky in a lot of ways. We did a lot of rehearsal, blocked out the space. I like it. It shows a connection there. Turning this into a conversation, I think it's cool. It's a chance for all the actors to prepare based on the performances that they're going to be looking at across the room.
In this moment, it is about the love of a father and a daughter.
That could be an intimate moment. You could go over there to him.
This is landing beautifully. The narrative is coming out of here, 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 here. If you don't have a pretty airtight game plan, you're going to find yourself in a pinch.
We'll stay right where we need to be for the ending.
It's all day, every day. It's emotional, it's intense.
You can hear me in there, Angela. You come today.
Once you get this ensemble together, and we can unleash these scenes.
God played a trick on you.
Everybody was like, this moment just happened.
We did a film together back in '83, The Right Stuff.
No.
In Novato, California.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, I supplied the...
Oh, I got a story for you about that. I mean, I know I can't tell you now, but it's something that Wally Schirra said to me. He came to me in a dream. He said, go to Reno. Bet on these numbers. He gave me 4 numbers on the roulette wheel. No drinking, no girls. And I had 2 days off, so I did. I drove over to Nevada, and I won enough to buy a GTO. And I did exactly what he said.
Amazing.
I know.
Yeah, we shot that up in Novato, California, and
I know. We were out at Edwards Air Force Base.
I have a picture of us in the back of a truck with all these antique cameras that I brought. Great time out there.
Oh, it was, man. Just being in The Right Stuff. I didn't agree with everything that he wrote in that book, but I just. The astronauts, and I finally met so many of them, and I was high as a kite on the movie. Let me just say about this movie, there's a metaphor in it. It's about a family and all of their changes that they go through. You know, they surge with family. That you can feel it about them, the way they argue, the way they fight for each other, the way they, you know, I mean, it's a full-blood American family decided to go bow out and live in the woods. And so when I think about it, it inspired me, because when I get bitched at by someone like my daughter, I mean, I react, and then that fuse was lit, and now I'm going to ride it out like a fire. By the way, a fire burns out, otherwise it's going to be around forever. Volcano, you know, or whatever. But it felt so good to be a family, even if I wasn't at the time of my life where I was as regal as I might have been.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's a wonderful metaphor for, you know, obviously it's a survival film, but it's how we survive and still be human beings.
And why? What gave us that fight ability against odds that are just impossible? Yeah. You know what I mean? And we do, or we don't.
Yeah, and God bless the firemen that stand up to these things too.
I feel that way. Yeah, me too. Big time. I have ultimate respect. It's not.
In working with this terrific cast, I mean, you have incredible people. One of my best friends, Glenn Morshower, is in it as well. But I mean, you've got such a terrific cast you're working with. It's got to elevate everything.
Absolutely. I was really happy when I got into that movie, and then I don't want to tell you what happens. You already know, I'm sure, but people will get their money's worth. Yeah, really get their money's. And thank God that they don't live in Big Sur, or you know, where all the trees are going to burn you to death. No, you know what I mean, if you're not careful.
Yeah, and that's, again, you know, everything drops away when you're getting into that survival mode. All the arguments there, it's nothing but love and getting your family to safety.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I felt it deeply, and my own family would have ran down the subway in New York. We didn't live in the country, you know.
Go underground as quickly as possible.
Yeah, the fire goes up. Anyway,
what do you think audiences are going to take away after we've talked about everything that we think audiences should take away? What do you think they are going to take away from On Fire?
They're gonna pick a person in it because the cast is big enough and different ages, and that's them. That's what they're gonna. You know what I mean? Because and you could turn any corner. I'm from the streets of New York, and the only nature in New York is people. That's it. Or Central Park, big deal. You know, that's about the size of a postage stamp.
Yeah.
But I think that they're going to reset their attitudes about what a family is. We have to do it often. I don't think if we don't do it often, the love and affection that the world has to offer is going to turn to war. You know, we have to. Fire is war. That's it.
Yeah, and I think listening to our older and wiser people, we've forgotten how to do that. And your character is such a great character to play, George.
Did you like that?
I did.
Oh, I know. He's a grouchy old bastard.
Well, he's a curmudgeon, but he's right.
Yeah, I know. Oh, man. I'm full of gratitude about making a film
And it needs to be seen.
and learning something. You know, it's not just by the numbers.
Yeah.
You've seen movies like that are just.
I've seen things that get up to a point but don't cross a line. This one takes you through everything, and you leave the theater better than you walked in.
That's true, because you got a family.
Yeah.
You've met a family and you picked one that's you.
I hope to catch up with you and have a cup of coffee someday with you.
I'd love to do that, or whatever.
Okay, well, I may reach out and we'll do a longer interview and talk about all the things we can't talk about right now.
Right. Exactly. Okay.
Lance,
But thank you
so,
for that, my friend.
Thank you so much. It's great to see you after 40 years like this. I'm so sad that, you know, this is seems to be like maybe the end, but you guys are doing these voices for the rest of time. So
You bet. Well,
we shower doing the voices together.
That's right.
Yes.
No. Well, you're right. We are so grateful, and of course we've been saying it during this lovely press tour, but it cannot be said enough, man. We are, these characters are part of us. And what a wonderful thing to have stuck in your pinky or your brain over and over again, because all it does is make people happy. When people find out who Mo and I are, and we regale them with a little pinky in the brain, it is nothing short of just heartwarming and mind-blowing. And man, we can't get enough of it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, not to deny that there's a bittersweet element to this, and yes, it's so long for now, but not goodbye, in the sense that, you know, the possibilities are limitless, and they're, you know, I'm on my 4th reboot of Futurama, which is coming out on Hulu later this summer. Who knows what could be down the line for these characters? So we're not closing the door on it in our hearts, for sure. We're just grateful to be able to have given you these 35 episodes for Pinky in the Brain, 36 for Animaniacs, because we're not in one episode that's Pinky in the Brains. Yes, but we're just immensely grateful to have gotten to do it at all. So thank you.
I told Jess and Tress that I want to write a Pinky in the Brain as either A Christmas Carol or Of Mice and Men, just one or the other.
Great.
You would call it of mice and mice.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, and when you perform these in front of your fans, I mean, Rob, I mean, you go to hospitals, you give so much back to your fans, and my God, I know that you're a cancer survivor and all that, but I mean, you really give your heart and soul when you do these voices.
Well,
He does. I don't. I'm coasting.
Yeah. Mo actually gives his pancreas, which is really, you know, hey, who am I to judge? It's unique. No, the fact is that, and thank you very much. Mo and I, and really all of us do that. All of us who are so fortunate to be in this position, Nancy Cartwright, Danny, Jess, everybody. Anytime we are privileged, and that's exactly what it is, a privilege for which we've worked very hard, that someone says Pinky or Yakko or the Brain or Morbo or you name it, that character is going to, could you have that character call my little girl? Or my mom is ill and she loves Pinky. Do you think the Brain could call? Never, never, never has anyone said anything, but you bet. And truthfully, as wonderful as people may feel that they get a chance to talk to the Brain, it is we who are the real beneficiaries of that experience. You can go put your head down at night and think back that, oh my goodness, something that I have done as a labor of love my whole life, it is something that makes people get through their cancer or get through their being in the foster home system. Good God, how much better can it get, you know?
Yeah, it's true. And the other compliment I want to give you, because we have just about a minute left, and I said this to Maurice in our interview, Pinky and the Brain and the other voices you do are so real to me as a fan. And that's the beauty of what you guys do. You breathe life into an animated character.
It's the closest thing that I've experienced in my life to magic.
Magic
is when you know, to get to be a cartoon character. The first time I ever saw my voice come out of a moving drawing, wow. I was 19 years old, and it was something out of Nelvana Films in Canada called Easter Fever, and I was like, wow, I've now joined Fred Flintstone and Bugs Bunny. I mean, I'm a cartoon character, and it was awe-inspiring in its own way, because how many people get to do that, you know?
Action. But it's also instilled with this creeping sense of unease.
I'm seeing something no one else can see.
What happens when you do see it?
It's smiling at me, but not a friendly smile. It's the worst smile I've ever seen.
I wanted to create a film that feels like an escalating nightmare.